Suicide. This word brings thoughts of darkness and mourning. This one word is a word associated with the deaths of thousands of teenagers. They think by committing suicide, they will take away their pain. But instead, pain will be thrown onto those around them. They never think of the tears their parents will shed or the breakdowns their siblings will have once they realize that they are never coming back again. Suicide is permanent. Depression is not. According to the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, suicide is the third leading cause of death for 15 to 24-year-olds. The Academy went on to say that a majority of adolescents who experience suicidal tendencies also go through a mental illness such as depression or anxiety. Teenagers need to realize that they are not alone in this situation. A suicide and depression program states that approximately 20% of adolescents will experience suicidal tendencies before adulthood. One major reason for attempted suicide is bullying. A rising issue in the United States is cyberbullying, and a recent article shows this. A 12-year-old girl named Gabriella Green committed suicide due to cyberbullying. The bullies went to social media sites such as Twitter and Instagram, making vulgar comments and spreading horrific rumors. One way to cope with cyberbullying is to block the accounts and not reply. If you reply, you are giving the bully what they want, attention. Another way you can cope with cyberbullying is to talk to a trusted adult. In this case, silence is not golden, and it's best to speak up and tell a trusted adult about what is happening to you. Ultimately, we need to educate our youth on how to see the signs of cyberbullying and how to step away from the situation. This may not ultimately resolve the issue, but it may help some to not feel so alone or attacked to the point where they want to end their lives. People need people. I realized this the hard way. For years, I believed being alone was better than having family and close friends. Locking myself in my room every night and turning the lights off did nothing but send me into a spiral of horrible thoughts. Why am I not good enough? Everyone hates me. I should just give up. I never felt so defeated or broken down. My thoughts were spurred by body image issues, bullying, and feeling as though I didn't belong. I was drowning, and I was trying to tell people that I was suffering, but no one understood me. One night, I'd had enough of this pain, and I went to my mother, and I broke down in front of her, and I remember telling her, I'm depressed, and I need help before I do something that I will ultimately regret. From that night on, every week, I would go see a psychiatrist to soothe my harmful thoughts. But there is one piece of advice that my psychiatrist gave me that I will always remember. She told me, Abby, you need to focus on the present and the future, and not the past, because your past, due to its negativity, it is basically holding you back, while your future has so much potential and light. And this is one thing I use in my everyday life. Years after recovering from my depression, I realized that not getting help was my biggest issue. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline has helped many people with a story like mine, and some of these are documented on their website. One is from a man named Jordan Burnham who tried committing suicide in his early teens, and he is a prime example of why suicide should never be an option. He says, the main message is that you are not the only one going through these problems or ideas. You can verbalize them, and you can cope with them in a healthy way to get through that. One way to deal with these issues is to let people in. Letting people in may be extremely scary at first, but it will ultimately help lead you to your road to recovery. Another suicide survivor, Leah Harris, says that recovery is real. You can recover from this even if you have symptoms. Recovery is just the process of achieving the kind of life you want. We need to empower our youth and help them realize that although this journey is a difficult one, it's a journey worth taking. I want everyone in this audience to know, though, that although this journey is extremely worth it, it is not going to happen overnight. You are not going to be happy the next day. It is going to take a while, and you just need to know that you need to persevere and you need to try and trust yourself to be happy again. I also want everyone in this audience to know that if you are dealing with depression or suicidal tendencies, that it is okay to get help, and it is okay to know that you are worthy and you are loved and you are special, and you are just so amazing. Please do not think that you are anything different. Thank you. Oh, wait, one more thing. Suicide should never be an option. Depression is not the end. After every storm, there's a rainbow, and the sun will shine again. And if you ever need any help, There's a suicide number. Thank you.